Welcome to My Pocket Psych, the podcast all about the psychology of the workplace. I'm Dr. Richard McKinnon. I'm a chartered psychologist and coach. And each episode, we'll take a look at a concept, a skill, or an experience of the workplace and explore it from a psychological perspective in terms that make sense and bring the scientific evidence to life. Last time we looked at the relevance of our values when it comes to working on our well-being. I described how they gave us a sense of clarity, a sense of meaning, and they allow us to be clear on the kind of person we want to be in the world. I want to talk this time a little bit about how we can bring them to life. Because when it comes to taking action to improve our well-being, it is too easy to try too much, aim too high, and be over ambitious. And the disruption that comes with this, the impact it has on our daily routines, it can mean we quickly feel overwhelmed, and then we're unable to continue. And then the feeling of failure that can quickly follow that erodes our initial enthusiasm. And so we feel like it's time to give up. And sometimes even when we want to continue with our plan, life gets in the way. We can have emergencies. We can have a pile up of responsibilities and work. And it makes it difficult, if not impossible, for us to complete the planned task. Maybe that was getting to a fitness class at the gym. And that can also leave us feeling like we failed. Nobody likes to feel that. And then we might be tempted to just abandon the whole initiative and leave our well-being for another time. So how do we avoid a focus on this kind of pass-fail mentality when it comes to these kinds of changes, which could conceivably help us with our well-being? We can move from a binary pass-fail evaluation of rigid behavior to instead viewing our behavioral options in terms of the direction of travel. You may have heard me talk about this before. I'm talking about framing our options in terms of what we call towards moves and away moves. Instead of a rigid, I must do the thing or I have failed, we can say, I have options to move towards what matters to me, or I can move away from some kind of discomfort, psychological discomfort usually. And these towards moves are great because they don't have rules. They're in line with something that's so flexible, our values. So they give us multiple options. It couldn't be further from pass-fail. We do what's possible. We don't meet a standard. We just know that we're moving in the direction of the kind of person that we want to be. And when we notice our away moves, we can see that we've anticipated or we're really feeling a kind of psychological discomfort. And now we're caught up with trying to remove it, minimize it, or avoid it. And even though that might make sense to us in the moment, it's taking us away from being the kind of person that we want to be. So we can practice noticing when the discomfort shows up and pivot, turn towards looking for options that better represent something that's in line with our values, our towards moves. And as I say, they don't imply completion. They don't imply success. They don't simply imply doing the whole thing. A towards move is a move towards the next step, if you like. So this can take a lot of the pressure off. Let me talk you through a fictional example, but if you know me, it's kind of rooted in my own lived experience. Let's say I want to attend a fitness class. Going to the fitness class is a good fit for me, I think, because I'm prioritizing my well-being. It's doing something social. It's doing something nearby, and there's some accountability. And so, unfortunately, I set myself up with being fit, being healthy equals getting to my fitness class. But then, and here's where reality kicks in, maybe business travel prevents me from getting to the fitness class. I could then say I failed. And that failure could feel so uncomfortable that every time I have to go on a business trip, I think, well, I can't go to my fitness class, so no well-being for me. I might then move away from being vigilant and focused on my well-being and do all the kinds of things I'm trying to avoid. However, if I frame this in terms of towards moves and away moves, then when business travel prevents me from going to my gym, to my fitness class, I could instead go to the gym in the hotel I'm staying in and do something. It's moving towards what's important to me, getting some exercise. Does it equal a tick in the box next to the fitness class? No, but that's not what we're looking for. We're moving towards what matters, so I'm doing something. Now, when my day of work on this trip leaves me feeling too exhausted to go to the hotel gym, that's not a failure. I can look for a towards move, and instead I'll go for a walk. I'll go for a walk around the neighborhood. I'll look for a place that's nice to go for a walk, maybe a nearby park or an interesting shopping street. The point is, I'm not giving up, and I'm not classing this as a fail. I'm doing the next best thing, the next towards move that's possible. Now let's imagine it's really late at night and I've been working all day. I'm too tired to go to the gym, and I really don't fancy walking around a strange neighborhood in the dark. It could be really tempting to say, I failed at physical activity today. I could just do some press-ups in my hotel room. This might seem funny, laughable, or even a little bit extreme, but the point is, I'm looking for the towards move. I could even just walk up and down the stairs in a stairwell in the hotel. I might get some funny looks, but I am engaging in the towards move. I'm being the kind of person I want to be. I'm doing something for my well-being rather than looking to a really high standard and beating myself up because I failed. Anything I do in that direction counts. I'm moving in a value direction. All of these are better than wishing I could have gone to my fitness class and sitting down somewhere instead. So once I'm clear on what my values are, all I need to do is identify the towards move in the context I'm actually in. And that could be a physical context, a geographical context, an emotional or physical context. But what's possible in the here and now? Let me move in that direction. I hope you found this useful. You can find out a lot more about this concept of towards moves and away moves at WorkLifePsych.com/psychological flexibility. I've got a whole bunch of resources there that explain this concept and point to previous episodes of the podcast where I've got into it in a lot more depth. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.